In the early 19th century, in the quiet, rural landscape of Robertson County, Tennessee, the Bell family settled into their life on a secluded farm. But their peace was about to be shattered by something they could never have imagined. The first signs of trouble began in 1817. Strange sounds echoed from the woods. Knocking, scratching, and gnawing noises that had no visible source. Soon, the disturbance moved inside the home. At night, the children's bed covers were violently yanked from them, and they awoke to the feeling of invisible hands pinching them. The family would lie awake, listening to a sound like rats gnawing on the bedposts, but upon investigation, nothing was there. Then came the knocking, loud, insistent rapping on the doors and walls, a terrifying percussion that shook the very foundation of their home. The phenomenon escalated. Objects began to move on their own. Chairs rocked violently, and stones were sometimes heard falling onto the roof. The spirit seemed to focus its attention on the youngest daughter, Betsy. She bore the brunt of the torment, suffering pinches and slaps from the unseen force. The haunting grew even more malicious when Betsy became engaged to a local boy named Joshua Gardner. The entity voiced its violent disapproval. Then, the invisible entity found its voice. It could speak, sing hymns, and quote scripture. It identified itself as a witch, the spirit of old Kate Batts. At times, it would even take on a form, a dark, shadowy shape, or the ghostly appearance of an old woman. The witch claimed its anger was sparked when John Bell disturbed a Native American burial site on his land, awakening a vengeful spirit. The patriarch of the family, John Bell Sr., began to suffer a mysterious affliction. His face would sometimes contort, and his mouth would lock shut, leaving him unable to speak or eat. The terror reached its peak in December of 1820. A small, dark vial was discovered hidden within the chimney. The witch itself announced it had placed the vial there, containing a strange, dark liquid. It was a poison intended for John Bell. To test the substance, a drop was given to a cat. The animal reportedly died instantly. Soon after, John Bell fell into a stupor. On the morning of December 20th, 1820, he was found dead in his bed. At his funeral, the witch's voice was reportedly heard singing a cheerful, mocking tune, celebrating its victory. The witch's activity diminished after John Bell's death, and it promised to return in 7 years. True to its word, in 1828, the disturbances began again, though the family had learned to resist its torment. The legend lived on in oral tradition until 1894, when a newspaper editor named Martin V. Ingram published the first full account, an authenticated history of the Bell Witch. However, modern scholars question Ingram's book, suggesting it may be a mix of local tales, historical documents, and his own fictional embellishments. In the 20th century, the legend was amplified by the promotion of the Bell Witch Cave, a local landmark tied to the story, further cementing the tale in popular culture. The story has inspired countless adaptations, from films like The Blair Witch Project and An American Haunting, to television series and music, proving the legend's enduring power to frighten and fascinate. Skeptical investigators point out the complete lack of reliable, contemporary documentation. They label the Bell Witch a powerful folk tale, a myth that grew in the telling. Whether a terrifying true account or a brilliantly crafted piece of folklore, the legend of the Bell Witch endures. It remains one of America's most chilling campfire tales, a ghost story that continues to haunt the imagination. What do you think? Could such a haunting be real? Or is the power of the story itself the true magic? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey into one of America's darkest tales, please like this video, subscribe to Black Pine Tales for more mysteries, and share it with a friend who loves a good ghost story. Until next time.